Imagine getting a $37 million budget and full creative control for your third major film. Yeah, that's the dream, right? So, how the hell did Paul Thomas Anderson pull it off? Letterboxd lads, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most ambitious films of the late 90s, Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia. First off, let's talk about how this wild ride started. Paul Thomas Anderson initially planned to make something short and sweet after Boogie Nights. But once he started writing, he just couldn't stop. It's like when you tell yourself you'll have one cookie and end up eating the whole batch. Anderson's script for Magnolia grew into a sprawling 3-hour epic with interwoven stories and a huge ensemble cast. He was on a roll, and there was no stopping him. Now, how did he get that kind of money and control? Well, after the success of Boogie Nights and Hard 8, the studios were basically throwing money at him. New Line Cinema trusted his vision so much, they gave him final cut. That's a big deal in Hollywood, where studio execs usually love to meddle. But Anderson had proven himself, and they let him run wild with Magnolia. One of the most interesting stories from the making of Magnolia is how Paul Thomas Anderson got Tom Cruise on board. Cruise was filming Eyes Wide Shut with Stanley Kubrick, and Paul Thomas Anderson, being the audacious guy he is, just strolled onto the set to meet him. Can you imagine? Walking onto Kubrick's set, that takes some serious guts. Anyway, Paul Thomas Anderson pitched the role of Frank T.J. Mackey to Cruise, and he was in. Cruise was so pumped about the project, he even agreed to shoot a hilarious infomercial for the movie, which aired on late-night TV. If you haven't seen it, it's a gem. Filming Magnolia was a massive undertaking. They shot on location in the San Fernando Valley using anamorphic lenses and 35mm film stock to get that beautiful, wide, cinematic look. The cast was insane. Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour, so many more. The set days were long and intense. The cast and crew had a blast. There are some great behind-the-scenes stories, like the time Paul Thomas Anderson played practical jokes on the cast to keep things light during heavy scenes. It was a family vibe, everyone pulling together to make something special. Editing this beast was another story. Paul Thomas Anderson worked with editor Dylan Tichenor to cut down the massive amount of footage into a coherent narrative. They ended up with a 3-hour runtime, which is still pretty hefty, but every minute is packed with emotion and detail. The soundtrack, featuring Amy Mann's haunting songs, tied everything together beautifully. Fun fact, Amy Mann's song Save Me was a major inspiration for the script, and PTA even wrote scenes around her music and shot a music video for her on the set of Magnolia, which is insane. Magnolia premiered on December 8th, 1999, and it was an event. The reception was mostly positive, with critics praising its ambition and emotional depth. It picked up several awards and nominations, including 3 Academy Award nods. Tom Cruise's performance, in particular, was a standout, earning him a Golden Globe win and an Oscar nomination. Who knew the guy from Top Gun had those kinds of acting chops? Despite its critical acclaim, Magnolia had a tough time at the box office. It grossed around $48.5 million worldwide, which isn't bad, but considering the $37 million budget, it wasn't exactly a blockbuster hit. But hey, not every masterpiece rakes in the cash. What matters is its lasting impact. Magnolia is one of those films that sticks with you, one you find yourself thinking about long after the credits roll. So, there you have it. When a director gets a $37 million budget and full creative control, you get a movie like Magnolia, bold, emotional, and utterly unique. Paul Thomas Anderson swung for the fences and created something truly unforgettable. If you haven't seen it yet, do yourself a favor and carve out 3 hours. It's worth every minute. All right, that's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more cinematic journeys. And drop a comment below with your favorite scene from Magnolia. I'm dying to know what you guys think. See you next time.